And behind USDT, because many people know USDT, but behind USDT there is Tether, which is our company, this one. So nowadays we reached 185 billion in the market cap. There are many people that are using our stablecoin. I'm happy to think and to believe that we helped a lot of countries and a lot of people to reach stability, or at least to be able to access to American dollar. Nowadays we have more than 500 million people all around the world that use this stablecoin, this dollar, this tokenized, this digitalized currency. So this one, as I said, was the first stablecoin. And this is true, this is real, this is not like a fugazi thing. This is why I decided to put our net profit as well in the slide, not to show off and to say that we are cool, but to show you that, these are real numbers. It's not like a joke or something like that. And it's not something futuristic either, because probably some of you, how many of you used USDT at least once in your life? I think some of you, right? Maybe not to buy an ice cream or not to buy a bottle of wine, but to move currency from your country, from Vietnam to another country, or vice versa. But in some countries, above all in Latin, this is a reality. Like prices are shown in USDT. So the adoption or tokenized asset is already real. This picture were taken by a colleague of mine in Bolivia, actually. And there, as you can see, you can buy wine, you can buy sunglasses, you can buy biscuits with USDT. So why should we stop only with USD, only with dollars? I don't want to repeat something that was already repeated many times today regarding the tokenization, why we should tokenize stuff, etc. But I just want to say that we decided that we really didn't want to stop only with USD, but we wanted to introduce a new feature of our company, which is Hedron by Tether. So as we gave the possibility to everyone to access the dollar, to have USD in their wallet, in their accounts, we wanted to give them the possibility to invest in every single financial asset that we invest, that we use. We don't want to live in a bubble anymore. We want that everyone to have the same rights, to have the same possibilities to invest in stocks, in bonds, in commodities. This is why, for example, we decided to issue our tokenized gold, which is XAUT. But then we really thought, why don't we give them the possibility to create, to the companies to create and to the investors to invest in every single asset, not only USDT, not only gold, but everything. So, as I said, we created Hedron by Tether. So Hedron is a platform owned by us, by Tether. It's a tokenization platform. And we are pretty agnostic with everything, with blockchains, with the signers. So we decided to make it like multi-signature, multi-chain, and non-custodial. So it's yours. You can use it as you want. We want to leverage on our experience, since, as I said before, we have more than 10 years in tokenization and blockchain experience. As I said, it's built for institutions. You can use it as you want. It's API first. And every single company and every single bank all around the world can use it and can issue, mint, and manage your tokens and your assets. I want to bring you like some real examples about what we are doing to show you another time that this is not something that we are, proposing in a fake way, let's say. We already did like at least, I just wanted to show you 4 examples. We did more, and we have many more in pipelines. We are very happy to say that. But these are only one. So for example, just to show you the regions as well. So for example, we are operating in the US, in El Salvador, in Europe, in the US again. So the last one, USAT, it's our new stablecoin. So it's issued by us, by Tether. It's our new stablecoin for the US market. Then there is, like, for example, Crane Shares KWEB. You can find it, you can Google it. KWEB is an ETF issued by Crane Shares, which is one of the biggest ETF issuers in the US, actually. We are tokenizing their ETF, and we are listing them on Bitfinex securities. So we don't want to use classic financial markets anymore, but we want to push these assets through these new exchanges. Because so at least all the 500 million people that use USDT can access and invest in these assets, because if not, it would be useless. So StableR and Quantos are our two stable coins that use Hadron. They are European. They are both for USD and Euro. And yeah, all of that uses Hadron, our tokenization platform. So I really think that capital markets, as it wrote there, were never designed for the internet. Again, I don't want to be repetitive, but with tokenization, with this new technology, for the issuer, it's much easier and cheaper to issue the assets, to do an IPO as well. What do you have to do? You just need to tokenize your asset, issue your tokens, and list them on an exchange if you want, or if you do a private placement. You can sell it to your brother, to your friends, to your clients, to whoever you want. You don't need all the bureaucracy anymore. And this was already said today many times, but of course we have the 24/7, which is probably the most important thing. But you have it for both private equity and public equity. For public equity, you just tokenize a stock that already exists and you put it on chain. But think about the private equity. All that small companies that would like to raise money or to give you the possibility to invest, they are maybe not that rich in order to pay classic financial institutions to go public. So in this way, we're giving them the possibility to raise money, to have partners. These are just the steps. I will not read all of them. I don't want to get you bored. But you just find the product, the minimum ticket. The minimum ticket could be very, very low. Right now, if you want to invest in a private company, or if you want to buy a bond, you cannot invest in private companies. Just try to buy a piece of a private company, even if it's very, very big. I don't want to name one, but think about the AI companies today, right? The most famous one. Maybe you would like to invest in some of them, but you can't. You cannot. Maybe if you're lucky, you can buy an SPV that invested in another SPV, that invested in another SPV, and another SPV, until you maybe get the real shares of that company. But with tokenization, you really get it. You get the shares, you get the rights. Of course, you don't have to buy anything, but it has to be regulated. As for every other kind of assets, there has to be a legal firm. There are many partners in a tokenization environment, and I will show you right now in a bit. So no single company can tokenize the world alone. So we are not here to say, hey, we're Tether, we can do everything, we can tokenize the world, we can issue tokens. Not like that. We position ourselves in a humble way as an infrastructure provider. There is the issuer who is on top of everything. He wants to issue the tokens. We give him the possibility to issue the tokens, but then there is the ecosystem, and we are very strong with that. We have all the connections with all the needed players to do a proper issuance and tokenization of everything. We're talking about shares, we're talking about bonds, commodities, real estate, all financial products. And I'm not here to tell you that if you tokenize something, you make it liquid, because it's not like that. Many times people come to me and say, I want to tokenize my apartment, my building, my house, my company as well. But it helps you to, of course, to raise money and to tokenize it, to issue the tokens, but it doesn't mean that your tokens are going to be sold out tomorrow. Because if there is not demand for that asset, if the token is useless, it's useless. The token has to be useful for the investors. So what does useful mean? That means that it could be yield-bearing. Imagine like a house, okay? This is a very basic example. You have a tenant in the house that pays the rent. You just want to tokenize the house, so we are going to buy the tokens that represents a right. I can have the ownership of that house, or I can have the right to receive the cash flows that come from the rent. So this is useful, because I'm getting something, right? I'm buying a token because I'm getting something. It's like dividends or coupons from a bond. This is just an example. A second one is that nowadays, if you want to ask for a loan, you have to have a collateral, blah, blah, blah. It's quite difficult, right? But if you have a token, you can use it as collateral to get a loan. In DeFi, of course, in some DeFi platforms, but in some exchanges too, in some centralized exchange. So if you get a token that represents, that give you the right to receive a yield, you can get the yield, then you use it as collateral to get a loan, which usually is much cheaper than the yield that you're getting. So you are liquid because you get the money and you even get a spread. There are many use cases for tokens, and it's not only 24/7, easier, cheaper, but there are real use cases that companies nowadays are really looking at. So these are just some partners that we work with that are very important. So for example, Bitfinex Securities is our sister company. So it's an exchange. They have the right to issue, to list securities actually. Market makers are the guys that put the liquidity there. If you tokenize something, you can sell it as a private placement, or you can create a book. But who puts the money, the liquidity in the book? It has to be a market maker, for example. Then there is the broker-dealer, funds ranger, the legal. The legal is very important because, as I said, they're not pirates. Right? When you tokenize something, it has to be like a very, very strong in legal and compliance terms. And then the investors, obviously. So this is like the market nowadays. So stablecoins are very famous today. There is Tether, there are some other big players around the world, but tokenization is following the same adoption curve. It's becoming really, really, really big. And I'm happy because today I saw many speeches, panels, and keynotes from people that are understanding it. And not only here in Vietnam, but all around the world. We travel a lot actually with this job, so we are lucky and unlucky, it depends. But we see many perspectives from different people. And where I'm in Paris, in New York, in Vietnam, in Singapore, Hong Kong, etc., I'm seeing that there are many people and companies that want to do that. Not only crypto native company, but like if you went to a crypto event 4 years ago, there were only exchanges, crypto people, but nowadays there are banks, financial firms, hedge funds, money market funds. Like all these players want to build something on this area. And so I really think this is the right moment to do it. I will skip this slide for you, just to how to get started with Ether. So this is just a last messages that I wanted to tell you, that we are not digitizing assets, but we are building the infrastructure for the new capital markets world. This is the most important thing. Thank you very much.